it's gonna be fairly quick. Okay, we'll go to item 1. Of course, we're gonna canvass the election returns. And then item 2 I'll consider a resolution declaring the election official. And then I will go down and present the certifications, and then Judge Holman, I hadn't seen him here, but I'm sure he'll be here, is going to swear all 3 of you in, okay? Okay, then we have public hearing, item G. Then item 1, approval of minutes. Item 2. Item 3. Item 4. I'm liking this. Item 5. This is good going away. Item 6. Item 7.
This is the second one of these?
This is the second one, yes, sir.
How many more are we going to see?
I hope none, but this is the second one, and it is the same surveyor.
I was going to ask, has this license been pulled yet?
I cannot comment on that, but it is the second one, and it is the same surveyor.
Okay.
Yes.
Have they done anything to address this issue?
I can't tell you that they've done anything specifically. If I were them, I wouldn't hire that surveyor anymore, but I don't know that specifically. Certainly have that conversation.
Third time might be the charm.
Item 8. Okay, boy, you got a lot to read on that sucker. Hey, look at that backup, will you? All
We
right.
tried to load up some proclamations.
Council, Russian names on?
Yeah, Russian poets.
Council, got anything else? Julie?
Yes, sir.
Good. Donna? I want to make sure everybody knows that we have, I'm not sure this is legal, but we have actually now 4 mayors in the room. We have our county commissioner and former Mayor Bobby Mitchell and Mayor Jean Carey and myself, and of course newly elected Mayor Durham. And then we also have Lathan Watts has come in to join us tonight. Oh, and here's my wife. Come in, it's my wife. Kathy Euchre just walked in the door. And I'm not sure who the guy behind her is. Pretty good looking, isn't he? Did I miss anybody else? Boy, we got some retired people and airplanes here, dollars here. We should have been here 2 weeks ago to get me laughing. Other than that, everybody's good. Well, thank everybody for coming. And so we are now adjourned, right? Okay. It is 7 o'clock. We do have a quorum. We'll call the city council meeting to order. First item on the agenda will be the invocation, which will be given by myself, and then the pledge, both American and Texas flags, which will be led by Councilman, soon-to-be Mayor Durham. Most gracious God Almighty, our Creator, our Redeemer, thank you so much for the blessings you give us each and every day of our lives. For the little things that we seem so often to forget about, that we take for granted, we thank you. We thank you for the water that we have. We thank you for the rains that are now flooding our lakes and our rivers to get us out of this drought. We thank you for that blessing. You always know what we need, Almighty God. You know what we want, but you also really know what we need. And we thank you for delivering that for us. We thank you so much for this country and this community in which we live. We thank you for the freedom that we have, the freedom to come together to make laws. We ask that you give us your wisdom and your courage to make laws and enforce laws which would be pleasing to you, which would be equal to all your creation. We ask that you give us the wisdom, the courage to open our eyes and hearts to everyone, to hear them as you hear them, to see them as you see them, to show them loving kindness, just as you show us. We ask a special blessing on those who are taking office here tonight, that you guide them, strengthen them, and give them your comfort and your peace as they seek to serve your people here in our community. We thank you so much for the blessings of the many first responders that we have here at home and those around the country and around the world who fight each day, putting their lives on the line, that we might have truth and freedom and justice in our lives. We ask a special blessing on those who are hungry, who are thirsty without water, who are needing a job, who have lost loved ones and who are ill. Give them your comfort and your peace. We ask all this in your most precious name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
honor
Honor
the
the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the Visitor Citizen Forum. At this time, any person with business before the council not scheduled on the agenda may speak to the council. No formal action can be taken on these items at this meeting. I do have a few cards here. First one is Mr. Gene Carey, my predecessor, our former mayor, Mr. Carey. And Mayor, I'm gonna break protocol. If you don't wanna give your name and address, you don't have to.
Gene Carey, 1373 Evergreen, Louisville, Texas. I also have another address, but that's down at the lake. Bobby wanted me to go first. I said, well, whoever he calls, and I guess you read her mind. I spoke the other night, and Dino, just thanking you for all that you've done for the city and for the years that you've served. You know, 1998 when you, of course, was elected, and in the last 6 years you've spent as mayor. And I've been there, so I know how much work goes into it and how much time you have to put into it. But like I told you the other night, there is life after this. There are things going on, and we still need to stay hooked up. And I want to thank you for the friendship over the years before we ever, either one of us ever got into this, just knowing each other. And I've always respected you, and you're a respectable person in the community. And I'm not going to say you're going to be missed because you're not going anywhere. You're still going to be around, but we'll keep close with each other. And again, thank you for all that you've done, because it's a lot of work serving in this office. And like you say, you get calls and everything, and you've got to put the time in, and whether it's an email or telephone or whatever, it's time consuming. So thank you for all that you've done. And to my friend over here, Councilman, I know you're going to do a good job, and I know we're going to be proud of you, and you'll step in, and things are going to go along, like you said, pretty much like they have been. They've been going. I think our city is very, very well ran. I think our staff is great. I think we've got a very good council, and I'm pleased with everybody up here. I have no complaints at all. If I do, I'm saving all my complaints for Rudy.
Thank you.
But Rudy, you're getting ready to step into something that's going to be a little different than what you've been doing. It's a little bit different, but you'll do fine. You'll make a great mayor. Again, Dino, thank you for the hours and stuff you put in. We had a lot of good times together.
That's right.
We can go back and say that. And Miss City Manager, I don't think there's going to be much change. You're going to get a good guy coming in, a good guy going out. So again, thanks a lot. And council, continue your good work that you do for the city. We appreciate it. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Mayor, and thank you so much for your mentoring and your wisdom that you've imparted to me over the years, and most of all for the friendship. It's truly respected. Thank you, sir. Next one is our county commissioner and former mayor, which I think is probably a little more important, Miss Bobby J. Mitchell.
Good evening. Bobby Mitchell, 1032 Springwood Drive, Louisville, Texas. I've never had to say that. That's kind of cool.
It is.
Mayor and council, it's a pleasure to be here tonight and to say so long to Dean from the Louisville City Council. I feel like a proud mother. I mentored all these guys.
That's right.
Dean, Jean, Rudy, all were on the council with me. They were all my children, is what I called them.
That's right.
And sometimes they even listen to me. Dean, I appreciate the job that you've done. Thank you for serving the city of Louisville. I tell everybody I meet, being mayor was the best job I ever had in my life. And I wish that every citizen would have the opportunity to be mayor, because it's a wonderful job. And Dean, you have served the city of Louisville well. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your temperament. I not only see you as mayor, I serve with you also in Rotary, so I'll get to see you every Wednesday when we're there. Thank you for the job you do. Thank you, Kathy, for sharing him with us. We know that you couldn't do the job unless you had the family to support you. You had the citizens of Louisville to support you. You've done a great job, and I know that you're going to enjoy yourself. I ran into something different when I resigned as mayor, so if you want to come on, come on.
No, no.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Rudy,
No.
I'm going to put a fire under you.
Okay.
I love you too, Dean, and I appreciate you, all that you've done. Rudy only had to get on to me one time. You know, like I said, everybody gave me the utmost respect, and he'd say, "Now, Bobby." And when he said, "Now, Bobby," I knew that I was stepping over, because Rudy didn't get on to you many times, and he allowed me to get on to him also. And we had a great council. We propelled this city forward. I enjoyed my time on the council. I enjoyed every bit of it. Sometimes it got kind of spirited, but we always agreed, and we always kept our arguments back in the back room, and we came out and presented a united front. And so I hope you all will always remember that you need a united front. Brent, thank you for stepping up to the plate to serve. You know, it's a big job to serve your fellow citizens, because it doesn't always go good. We have complaints, and so the citizens have complaints, and they come to you with those complaints. Please keep your ears open. I don't come to you and complain much, but, you know, when I'm through with this job, I'm gonna ride y'all and come and complain all the time, just for the heck of it. So thank you all for all that you do. Leroy, Neil, TJ, Greg, staff, Donna, Liz, Julie, all of you all you do, staff here, thank you for taking care of the city of Louisville and taking care of me, because you've always taken care of me from day one, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Bobby, and thank you for all that you do. And for us on the county level, we know we have not only a true friend, but probably the greatest ally up there at the county level with you being our commissioner. We thank you so much for the leadership you've shown, or I'm not going to number the years, but for a few years that you've shown for this city in this community, how you've taken that on and made sure that we weren't a forgotten city down here in the southern part of the county. We thank you so much for that. I thank you personally for, as I told Gene, your mentoring, your wisdom and knowledge that I learned from you. I'll never forget, and you might not remember this, but I remember I learned from you that sometimes you just have to say no. And I'll never forget you teaching me that. But sometimes when developers want something, you just have to realize that no is the best answer. And so I thank you, and I thank you again for your friendship, all you've done. And the next one is Mr. Charles Emery. Mr. Emery is a former councilman also.
I feel kind of lowly after not being a mayor, just a lowly councilman coming up here. But this is a little bit different. It's something's been on my heart for some time, and I told you, Mayor, that I've been back and forth the legislature so much. I had this prepared about 2 months ago, but I've got some comments. My name is Charles Emery, for the record. I live at 2200 North Garden Ridge in Louisville, Texas. And I thank you for the opportunity to make some quick comments. And this is about basically those folks that protect us all the time. And each time I hear the news, I'm reminded of how vulnerable we are in this city and in this country to attacks by those who just don't respect the law. I'm likewise reminded of our first responders who protect our citizens 24/7 every day of the week. I've lived in our city and have been privileged to serve in a leadership role for the last 40 years and have witnessed the evolution of the development of what I consider the superior public servants that is our first responders. The first notion I had of what that was all about and the sacrifices that they make was when I was 18 years old. I was standing in front of the MSC, Memorial Student Center, in Texas A&M in a military uniform, reading this inscription on the side of the building. It says, "Greater love hath no one than this, than to lay down a life for a friend." And it kind of struck me that this could be pretty serious business. And not too long after that, of course, when I got out of college, I wound up serving in the military in the Vietnam era and understanding all along what that meant, is to lay down a life. There's no value in my mind or measurable benefit that we can assign to the kind of sacrifice our first responders tender for our safety and security every hour of every day. And I want to publicly acknowledge the critical roles they play in our city, their bravery and courage in fulfilling their responsibilities. And I want to express my gratitude, and certainly I'm sure yours, for each person in our police and fire for their service in our behalf. Now, let me get to the point of congratulating those that are coming up incidentally and being sworn in. I can hardly remember, it's been so long ago, what that was like for me. But Mayor, for you particularly, I just want to inform you that your real service just now starts. I mean, when you get out of public office, that's when the real work starts. So, and I've already got a couple of boards incidentally. I told Claude King this a few months ago when he left. I said, I've got a couple of boards for you at least. And but we look forward, I look forward to working with you in other forums. You've done a marvelous job all these years you've been in here, and we appreciate your leadership in this city along with the city council. So thank you very much for what you've done.
Well, thank you very much, Charles, and thank you for your time that you served on the council. And as you said, you didn't stop there. You've been working for many years behind the scenes with our transportation in this city, and you've done just a tremendous job. I know it's taken a lot away from you and your family having to travel to Washington and the state on a regular basis, and you've represented the city of Louisville in all those efforts, and you've done a tremendous job. We appreciate the work that you have done over the years behind the scene, and a lot of people don't know it, but I personally want to say on behalf of all the council and staff, thank you for all that you've done over the years, Charles. We greatly appreciate it. And I'll just say real quick, I'm not doing it long because I did that last week. I'm not going to do it again. But I did it intentionally last time because there wasn't many people here. So, but I do want to thank my wife who's here tonight, my wife, Kathy. Honey, I'm going to make you stand so everybody see who you are. I know you're going to hate me. Oh, she's not going to stand. Okay. Yes, dear. You don't have to stand. So, but thank her and my parents and our kids, our family that have supported me. And most of all, I want to thank all of you, the citizens of this city and the staff and the people on council, both present and past, that have supported me, helped me, and educated me over the years. And thank you for all your support, and I appreciate that greatly. Thank you.
Mayor, if I might, first I want to personally thank you for your leadership and your vision. I remember so clearly the day that we were sitting in a meeting, you said, you know, we really need to move City Hall back to Old Town. And look what we have now. It's just incredible. That was the vision.
Everybody thought I was crazy. Remember that?
Well, just a little bit, but then we got over that. It was the right move at the right time. Mayor, you know you're not going to get away without a video. We like to do a special tribute to you, and I apologize. You did want us to do it, but we've done it. And so, Tim, if you could roll it.
Oh, Lord of mercy. That's my wife. Oh, Lord. Thank you very much. Thank you, Donna, very much.
Mayor, just quickly, is this on? Can you hear me?
Something else? Wait a minute, I said none of this.
I just wanted to
They don't
thank-
ever listen to Mary.
Thank you for your service. I know the city is a better place because of it. I personally have learned many things from you, and you've made me a better attorney. I thank you for that, and I hope that you enjoy this next chapter of your life.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Liz. Thank everyone. Okay, next item on the agenda is consideration of items relating to the May 9th, 2015 City of Louisville general election. First item that we're going to do is canvass the election returns for City Council general election. Julie?
Okay, I'll read the results in the mayor race. John Garena received 613 votes. Reedy Durham received 929 votes. Winston Edmondson received 308 votes. So Rudy Durham will win that race with 50.22%. In councilman place number 2, Osman Paracha received 204 votes. R. Neil Ferguson received 1,460 votes. So Mr. Ferguson will win that race with 87.74%. In councilman place number 5, Brent Daniels received 967 votes. Mary Ellen Mixka received 680 votes. So Brent Daniels will win that race with 58.71%. And we had a total of 1,869 voters.
Okay, council, you've had the official results of the election presented to you. I'd now entertain a motion declaring the results of the council election official.
Move to approve and make official.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Gilmore, second by Councilman Tierney. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, at this time, I'm going to have you come down one at a time, and I'm going to present you your, I'll wait till I get out there.
Okay.
I'll have you come down one at a time, if you will, and I'll present you your certificates. But then after you do that, if y'all will be sure and stay up here, because then the judge will swear each one of you in. Okay? So, Councilman Durham, please come forward, sir. This is to certify that Rudy Durham, at the general election held in the city of Louisville, Texas, on the 9th day of May, 2015, by virtue of having received a majority of the votes cast, has been elected mayor of the city of Louisville, Texas, and was on the 18th day of May, 2015, certified by canvass of the vote by the city council of the city of Louisville, Texas. Now, therefore, by reason of the provisions of the city charter and ordinances of the city of Louisville, Texas, you are hereby notified to qualify as the law directs for the said office of mayor in the city of Louisville, and therefore to enter upon the discharge of your duties in accordance with the law in such cases made and provided. Witness my hand and the seal of the city of Louisville this 18th day of May, 2015. Congratulations, Rudy. Hold that certificate. Huh?
Looks like it's shooting in the head.
I'll just say I couldn't be turning this over to a better gentleman. Thank you so much, Rudy, for all you've done in the past, what you're doing, and what you're doing going forward.
Thank you, Dean. And you do know, I've enjoyed serving with you since a long time ago.
Yeah, it's kind of long. Rudy and I started on PZ.
Early 90s.
Yes.
And you do know I'll be calling you and Gene and Bobby and Charles, of course. I see him at least once a month at a meeting. So, thank you.
Well, thank you. Okay, if you can hear the state, there's some swearing. Councilman Ferguson, you can come down, please. You know, just like Councilman Durham, I told him I knew for sure he'd win the election. I told Councilman Ferguson the same thing, but I can tell you it's a lot easier for me to say it than it was for them to do it. It's not an easy task. This is to certify that R. Neil Ferguson, at the general election held in the city of Louisville, Texas, on the 9th day of May, 2015, by virtue of having received the majority of the votes cast, has been elected councilman, place number 2 of the city of Louisville, Texas, and was on the 18th day of May, 2015, certified by canvass of the vote by the city council of the city of Louisville, Texas. Now, therefore, by reason of the provisions of the city charter and ordinances of the city of Louisville, Texas, you are hereby notified to qualify as the law directs for the said office of councilman, place number 2 of the city of Louisville, and therefore to enter upon the discharge of your duties in accordance with the law in such cases made and provided. Witness my hand and the seal of the city of Louisville this 18th day of May, 2015. Let's get them up here.
course, very pleased to be reelected. It's going to be, it's going to feel funny sitting there because I'm so used to seeing you sitting next to me, and I'll have to get used to seeing Rudy, I guess, but I don't.
It's hard to see him down there.
It is. I don't usually see much of him, but I know Rudy will do a great job, but I'm going to miss not having you there. I mean, I really will. So I appreciate you. You've been a mentor. You've been a friend. You've done many, many things for me people don't know, and I can't thank you enough.
And now, our new councilman, Mr. Brent Daniels. If you'd please come forward, sir. Once again, I visited with Brent when he first decided to run, and I told him I was sure proud of him stepping forward. Brent served on our board and commission and done a great, I'm on our zoning board, planning and zoning board. I'll get it right here. Our planning and zoning board has done a wonderful job in his volunteering his time and service in the city. I knew you'd come forward and make it, so we appreciate you. We appreciate what you're going to do for us the next few years. This is certified that Brent Daniels at the general election held in the city of Louisville, Texas on the 9th day of May 2015 by virtue of having received a majority of the votes cast, has been elected councilman place number 5 of the city of Louisville, Texas, and was on the 18th day of May 2015 certified by canvass of the vote by the City Council of the City of Louisville, Texas, and now therefore by reason of the provisions of the city charter and ordinances of the City of Louisville, Texas, you are hereby notified to qualify as the law directs for the said office of councilman place number 5 of the City of Louisville, and therefore to enter upon the discharge of your duties in accordance with the law in such cases made and provided. Witness my hand in the seal of the City of Louisville this 18th day of May 2015.
Okay. More than anything, I'm just proud to be part of the team, and I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and get to work.
Let's give all three of these people. Now our Judge Holman is going to come forward and swear these young men in.
Thank you. With your permission, we'll begin with Councilman Durham. Please raise your right hand. I, please state your name.
I, Rudy Durham,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office of mayor on the city council
the duties of office of mayor and city council
of the city of Louisville, state of Texas,
of the city of Louisville, state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
and the charter and ordinances of this city.
the charter and ordinances of this city,
And I furthermore
and furthermore,
solemnly swear that I have not,
solemnly swear that I have not,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
paid, offered, or promised to pay,
paid, offered, or promised to pay,
contributed, nor promised to contribute
contributed, or promised to contribute
any money or valuable thing,
money or valuable thing,
or promised any public office or employment
or promised any public office or employment
as a reward
as a reward
for the giving or withholding of oath. Giving
given
or
or
withholding
rewarding
at the election at which I was elected.
at the election which I was elected.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Everyone please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, please state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of, and please state the place in the city council of the city of Louisville, state of Texas, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, and the charter and ordinances of this city. And I furthermore solemnly giving or withholding a vote at the election at which I was elected. So help me God. Congratulations.
Take your seat, John. Get all my stuff.
Need a moving van?
Maybe later.
Stuff out of there?
Congratulations. Thank you.
Okay, the next item of business is a proclamation, and I need Kevin Ryan and, got the wrong ones here, excuse me, not Kevin Ryan. Caitlin Heron and James Tuttle to come forward, please. I'll meet you then.
Watch out for those Russian composers.
We have a proclamation here. Whereas water is a basic and essential need of all humankind and all living things to sustain life. And whereas water is a limited resource that should be used wisely, and the water supply protected by preventing pollution and conserving water. And whereas public works and utilities provide essential services needed for the protection of health and welfare of our community as part of their everyday lives. And whereas the support of a satisfied and informed citizenry is vital to the professional operation of the public works, utility system, and essential programs such as water production and distribution, wastewater treatment and collection, environmental services, streets and storm drainage, traffic and fleet operations, and public buildings and facilities. And whereas the quality and capability of these facilities, as well as their planning, design, and construction, is vitally dependent upon the efforts and skills of public service employees. Whereas the efficiency of the qualified and committed personnel who staff the Public Services Department is significantly influenced by citizen attitudes and appreciation of the important work they perform. And now, therefore, I, Rudy Durham, Mayor of the City of Louisville, and on behalf of the Louisville City Council, do hereby proclaim the week of May 3rd through 9th, 2015. On behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim the week as National Drinking Water Week, and May 17th through 23rd, 2015, as National Public Works Week, and urge all citizens and civic organizations to understand and recognize the contributions of the Public Services Department in providing for our daily utility needs and protecting the health, safety, and well-being of our community. Proclaim this 18th day of May, 2015. Thank you.
On behalf of Public Services, I'd like to thank the mayor, the council, and the citizens of Louisville for this recognition and your continued support.
We'd just also like to thank the council, Mayor Durham, and our director, Carol Bassinger, for the continued support.
get lost. Next, we have a presentation, and would Kevin Ryan please come forward? Okay, Kevin, go ahead. Rudy Durham, nice to meet you.
My name's Kevin Ryan. I'm with the Texas Leaders Program. It's a law enforcement advanced DWI report writing system. What the system does is it allows police officers to write their DWI reports quicker so they can get back out on the streets. I'm here tonight to present an award to one of your officers, Officer Jose Montoya. He wrote the most reports in the leader system of any city officer within the state of Texas. He arrested a total of 110 DWI individuals, so he is definitely making your streets safer for you, because studies show that when DWI arrests go down, the fatalities, when they go up, the fatalities go down. So, in fact, the whole department of Louisville is doing its job trying to keep your streets safer. The past 2 years, they have arrested the most DWI in the leader system in the state of Texas of any agency. Now, I'd like to get Officer Montoya to come up here. I want to say congratulations to Officer Montoya for his work in trying to keep the city's streets safe for the citizens of Louisville. Thank you very much. Thanks, sir. I also want to thank the City Council for allowing me to come in here and make this presentation. Thank you.
Our next item is the public hearings. It's consideration of an ordinance granting a special use permit for a facility with outdoor mobile home and auto display and sales, with such permit limited to recreational vehicles, travel trailer, display and sales only on approximately 1.313 acre tract of land located on lots 2, 3R-1 and 4, Block A of the Purnell Edition, with 2 associated variances as requested by Campers for Rent with permission from Kukla Enterprises, the property owner. Administrative comments. The subject property is proposed RV travel trailer rental and sales facility on a property zoned light industrial, which is currently vacant. The facility will accommodate approximately 6,400 square feet area for display of vehicles for rent and sale, and will also provide a dump station. The P&Z Commission recommended approval of the SUP by a vote of 6-0 at their meeting on April 7, 2015, with a condition that sanitary sewer flows on the site be metered. Recommended approval of the driveway stacking variance, and recommended denial of the use of a temporary office to conduct business during construction. Staff recommendation is that the council approve the requested special use permit with the conditions specified in the SUP ordinance regarding limited display and sales to RV travel trailers, requiring a sanitary sewer meter to measure wastewater discharge at the RV dump station shown on the development plan, approve the driveway stacking ordinance, and deny the request for a temporary office to conduct business. And now we have Scott Hazinga is here to answer any questions. Is there anyone else that'd like to speak on this that hadn't filled out a form? Okay. Yes, sir. Are you Mr. Hazinga?
My name is Scott Heisinger. I live at 518 Waterview Drive in Capel, Texas, and I'm the owner of Campers for Rent, and answer any questions you may have about the permit application.
Thank you. staff have any question, or does council have any questions at this time?
No.
No, sir.
Okay. We have a motion to close the public hearing?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion to close the public hearing and a second by Councilman Ferguson, a second by Councilman Gilmore. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Councilman Vaughn.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the variance for the dump station be metered, also that the driveway stacking be reduced to the requested, and we also deny the temporary office to conduct business during construction.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve as presented.
I have a quick question. There's the regarding limited display and sales to RV trailer, the very first item. Councilman Vaughn, did you want to include that, or?
I'm sorry?
There's a special use permit with the condition specified regarding limited display and sales. I did not hear you catch that one.
Yes, additionally, as pointed out, limited to sales and repair of travel trailers and such vehicles.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I'll
Any
second that.
Okay. Second the amendment?
Yeah.
Okay. And so it will come out again as the recommendation. Okay. Okay, Halt.
This is an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Louisville, Texas, amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Louisville, Texas by granting a special use permit for a facility with outdoor mobile home and auto display and sales, with such permit limited to recreational vehicle, travel trailer display, and sales only on approximately 1.313 acre tract of land located on lots 2, 3R-1, and 4 of Block A of the Purnell Addition, providing for severability, providing a penalty, providing a repealer, providing an effective date, and declaring an emergency.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, Councilman Vaughn. Appreciate that.
Not a problem, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing it to my attention.
Next item is consent agenda. All the following items on the consent agenda are considered to be self-explanatory by the council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or citizen so requests. For a citizen to request removal of an item, a speaker card must be filled out and submitted to the city secretary. And I don't think I have any. Okay. Councilman Ferguson.
Yes, move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ferguson to approve and a second by Councilman Vaughn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay, next item is a regular hearing. Item number 7, consideration of variance to the 1996 Castle Hills Agreement to allow single-family residents located at 5020 Joseph Street in Castle Hills to encroach 1 foot 5 inches into the required 5-foot side yard setback as requested by Matt Taylor, Division Manager of American Legend Homes. Comments are on February 3rd, 2015, Borrow Land Surveying unknowingly staked the lot incorrectly at 5020 Joseph Street. As a result of the house being built slightly askew of the lot and creating an encroachment on the property, American Legend Homes, the home builder, is requesting a variance to allow the single-family residents to encroach approximately 1 foot 5 inches into the required 5-foot setback. This lot is an interior lot, and the encroachment is located on the eastern side of the lot. Recommendation is that the City Council approve the variance as set forth in the caption above. Councilman Gilmore.
Mayor, do we have folks here to speak on this?
Just 1 second.
Hello, I'm Matt Taylor with American Legend Homes. I reside at 2724 Damsel Madison. I'm the division manager of American Legend Homes, and want to apologize first that this is having to come to you. You probably saw me here about 3 months ago. Similar issue. This one's a little bit more, I guess, has other issues with another house locating close to it. We try to take precautions in order to keep this from happening, as well as the District of Castle Hills. I work alongside the inspectors there to ensure stuff like this doesn't happen, but what we do is we have to rely on our contractors providing us with accurate information. Fortunately, people make mistake, and a pin got set incorrectly. We went off that information and got provided with a form survey that stated that. Of course, we kept on going along on our construction. Obviously, it's an issue, and we try to do everything that we can to prevent this. I've had multiple conversations with our survey company, Barrow Land Surveying, to try to prevent something like this happening. I've been doing it for 15 years and never had it up until the past two circumstances, nor I've even heard of an issue like this. So I want to let y'all know we're here to try to prevent this from happening again. And I'll let Terry with Barrow Land Surveying.
Yeah, I forgot to read these out. We have Terry and Lisa Barrow.
Yes, sir. Terry Barrow.
And in support of this, and Mike Stickle and Sam Treviso in support also. Go ahead, Mr. Barrow.
I own the surveying company that made the mistake, and we've been surveying for 25, 30 years. I got the company from my father, and we had one guy make a mistake, and then a similar mistake just a couple months later, and I mean, we've done 50,000 surveys, and it's never happened to us before, and we've put in some more stringent requirements that we're going to check our work a lot better in the future to make sure this doesn't ever happen again. And thank you for letting me speak.
Okay.
I just want to say one more thing, and even they survey all of our homes, and we're still sticking behind them through this process. And it is an unfortunate accident, but it wasn't a case, this even our track record, it wasn't a case where we severed our relationship with them. So we're still standing beside them. Another item just to bring up was was concern of basically our fire code issues, and I've been working alongside or kind of through email with the city of Louisville and the District of Castle Hills to make sure that all the fire code, safety precautions that's in the IRC, that we're complying with it, and we're also going to have everything inspected with pictures documenting it to make sure that everyone's covered and we're doing the right thing moving forward. So we appreciate your consideration in this.
Okay. Any comments before we close the public hearing?
Quick question for staff. If this were denied, what happens?
Eric, I'm going to have to turn to you for that.
Typically, this is similar to, in Louisville, it would be a zoning board of adjustment action. And should that board or should this council deny this, I'll keep my eye on the city attorney here, but basically the house comes down and gets constructed in its correct footprint per the plat.
Okay, thank you.
House completed? Is it occupied?
It is. It's not occupied, but it is completed.
It's not completed.
Can I answer that? This house is not occupied nor complete.
Oh, it's not complete.
We're approximately about 60% of the way complete on it.
Going forward on these survey issues, do you have somebody double checking what's going on, going forward? Double checking these sites that you guys are laying out?
Yes, sir. We sure do.
So we can expect not to see this again?
Yes, sir.
I guess the concern I have is that I heard you say you've had conversations, but that doesn't suggest mechanisms to prevent it. I heard you say, Mr. Barrow, that you have implemented some changes, but I'm not getting a clear picture that something dramatic is actually happening to make sure this cannot happen again?
Well, the things we've implemented were, we used to survey the lot that we were dealing with, the subject lot, and now we're surveying lots 2 doors down each way, and we're having the manager sign off on it to make sure that everything's checked and all the irons are in the right place.
So that's an implemented change that came when?
The day we found out this problem came about.
What happened after the first time there was a mistake?
It was really a different mistake because it was an iron that was the adjacent lot behind it, and it was a smaller mistake, and the house wasn't as bad as this one. And
from my perspective, if it's wrong, it's wrong. It's not how
Right,
much, it's wrong. It's wrong. I'm a former member of American Congress on Surveying and Mapping. I'm very familiar with surveying. And in a day of GPS, it's a little hard to understand how you can make these mistakes.
I'd also like to have you speak on the issue of the fire code. With this house being askew, what comes into play now with the house next door to it, and regarding any fire issues or setbacks?
According to the 2006 IRC, which is the governing building code for the District of Castle Hills right now, it doesn't take into the property adjacent to this one, only the structure that's been built right now at 5020 Joseph. And what we have to do is build a 1-hour firewall located on anything that's over the 5-foot building line on the property, which it's a 2-story structure. And we have to, in effect, build a 1-hour firewall according to the guidelines of 2006 IRC.
Between the two structures?
It's actually on where you have a brick facade. Inside of that, there's, in effect, 2x4 framing. You have to apply, in effect, fire retardant material that's rated for 1 hour on the exterior of that wall, which is like sheathing. And then on the inside, the drywall has to be 5/8, as well as the roof decking has to be fire rated, as well as the soffit. And I've gone into it with detail with the District of Castle Hills, and the City of Louisville has provided me information as well.
Thank you.
But very familiar with the code. We're currently building other structures that have to have this on every project, so I'm aware of what is required, and we're going to take the necessary steps to ensure it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other questions before we close the public hearing?
One more final comment. Frankly, I don't care what you do internally, adjustments you've made, who's checking, who's double checking. I think if it happens again and you run the risk of tearing the building down and starting over, I think that's the check and the double check that I need to know.
And if you read that into my comments, you were correct. I feel the same way.
Okay.
I would tear it down, and maybe then somebody will learn. But I would tear it down. I'm serious.
Okay.
Mayor, I'll move to close the public hearing.
No, we don't, I was mistaken on that. No need to close this one. Councilman Gilmore.
Mayor, I'll move that we approve the variances set forth with the understanding that third time will not be a charm.
I understand the policy of 3 strikes, so.
I'll second.
Is there a second?
I second. Or
Okay.
someone did.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Motion by Councilman Gilmore, second by Councilman Vaughn. Get to you?
Yes.
No ordinance? Okay. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Motion passes. I hope to not see y'all again in the near future anyway.
No
It's not
offense.
the plan.
So,
Thank you.
thank you. Next item, number 8, consideration of ordinance of the City Council of the City of Louisville approving a negotiated settlement between Atmos City Steering Committee and Atmos Energy Corp. Mid-Tex Division regarding the company's 2014-2015 rate review mechanism filings. Approving a settlement agreement with attached rate tariffs and proof of revenues. Declaring existing rates to be reasonable. Adopting tariffs that reflect rate adjustments consistent with the negotiated settlements. Finding the rates to be set by the settlement tariffs to be just and reasonable and in the public interest. Requiring the company to reimburse ASCS's reasonable rate-making expenses. Determining that this ordinance was passed in accordance with the requirements of the Texas Open Meeting Act. Adopting a savings clause. Declaring an effective date requiring delivery of this ordinance to the company and the ASCS's legal counsel, and declaring an emergency. Administrative comments are going to be abbreviated tonight. The agreement requires Atmos to give the city the benefit of the adjustments to the 2004 rate increase recommended by the PFD. Recommendation is that the council approve the ordinance as set forth in the caption above. Councilor, was that enough read? Okay, thank you. Councilman Tierney.
Move to approve. Second.
We have a motion to approve by Councilman Tierney and second by Councilman Ferguson.
This is an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Louisville, Texas, approving a negotiated settlement between the Atmos City Steering Committee and Atmos Energy Corp. Mid-Tex Division regarding the company's 2014 and 2015 rate review mechanism filings. Approving a settlement agreement with attached rate tariffs and proof of revenues, declaring existing rates to be unreasonable, adopting tariffs that reflect rate adjustments consistent with the negotiated settlement, finding the rates to be set by the settlement tariffs to be just and reasonable and in the public interest, requiring the company to reimburse ACSC's reasonable rate-making expenses, determining that this ordinance was passed in accordance with the requirements of the Texas Open Meetings Act, adopting a savings clause, declaring an effective date, requiring delivery of this ordinance to the company and the ACSC's legal counsel, and declaring an emergency.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next item is reports. Nika. Okay, Bob. Tim.
I just want to take a moment just to congratulate you, Councilman Ferguson and Councilman Daniels. Look forward to working with you in your new appointment, continuing to work with you, Councilman Ferguson, and Councilman Daniels, getting to know you and working with you on any future issues as well on behalf of the fire department.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think I mentioned last meeting that we were having our employee picnic this Friday, and so I just wanted to remind everyone, we did have a location change. We're not going to be able to have it at Lake Park, so we are moving it to Railroad Park. We'll be in the baseball pavilion. The picnic will be from 11:30 to 1:30. The awards for our employees who have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 years of service will begin at noon. We have On the Border catering, and we would love to have you join us.
Thank you. Let's hear about the lake.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of good news. As everybody drives over that, you notice it's full, more than full. So that's the good news for this time of year. So I think we're okay for now. And supposed to get more rain, but I think we'll do fine this summer.
How far are we away from the spillway level?
About an hour ago, it was 529.67, so about 2 feet.
2 feet, okay.
How's it look as far as the downstream from Ray Roberts?
Downstream from Ray Roberts?
Yeah, how does that look?
I think they're still letting water out, and we weren't this morning. There may be some release now, but the downstream is, that's the reason they're kind of holding Louisville, because it's they've had some flooding issues downstream. I think Grapevine is way over their full mark. So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But we're comfortable.
Yeah. Gina? Okay. Ms. Martin? Eric? Somebody gone next to you?
Steve.
Okay. Councilman Daniels?
Well,
Welcome aboard.
I'm excited that this week is National Drinking Water Week, because what better way to conserve our drinking water than to conserve it in our yards? And I know nobody's thinking about that right now with all the rain, but tomorrow night, a do-it-yourself class at the Annex Building from 6 to 8, and it's on drip irrigation. So you may not be thinking about it now, but I guarantee come August, you'll wish you have been to this class. So the seating is limited. You can call Keep Louisville Beautiful to make a reservation. And I'm excited to be part of this.
Okay. Councilman Tierney.
Nothing, sir.
Councilman Gilmore.
Mayor, I had the privilege to represent council this weekend at the first Chunk Your Junk event. We had 9 locations with roll-off dumpsters throughout the city, and the preliminary reports have us collecting 15.23 tons of material from residents. Memorial Park had the most junk, so y'all down in that part of the town, congratulations. We had 33 city employees working as site monitors, and we had a couple of volunteers from First Christian Church. It's a great event. I anticipate that we will have more in the fall when we do this again, but a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys can come out and throw some trash with me in the fall. That's all I have.
Okay. City Manager?
No, sir.
Okay. Councilman Ferguson?
Thank you, Mayor. It has a different feel, but I think
It does. It does. Has an unusual feel.
I think I'll be happy to get used to it. So it's gonna be nice having you sitting there. So MCL Grand, we have coming up Max Baca and Los Tex Maniacs in the Texas Tune Series. That's this coming Saturday, May 23rd. This is going to be one heck of a show. These guys have won a Grammy Award. If you go to Texas Tunes and you hear me tell people, hey, we have room up front if you want to come dance, and then nobody does, I pretty much guarantee at this concert you're going to see people filling up that front and dancing. So very lively show, very entertaining, well worth the ticket price. Encourage you to come and hear a great concert on this coming Saturday, 8 p.m. Also, MCL Healthy You, stroke awareness is the next topic. That's May 26th. Just a reminder that I often forget to say, but for the Healthy You, it's desired that you go online and register that you're attending so they can plan for seating and other elements of their presentation. So just keep that thought in mind. But this would be, again, a really good event to go to, stroke awareness. A lot of people don't know the signs of stroke, and it can happen at any age. We also have the LISD Student Film Fest called REEL, R-E-E-L, Voices on May 29th. It's presented by LISD Media Arts. And the Sounds of Louisville concerts are going to start cranking up here pretty quick on Tuesdays in June and July. And, of course, that's the City of Louisville free concert series. Our very first show will be June 2nd. And it will feature Fast Lane, which is an Eagles tribute band. So that concert will be a lot of fun, a lot of songs everybody will have a good time listening to and maybe dancing there. And then the Visual Arts League will always have those Friday night jam sessions, and they just keep growing and getting, they need to make a record. Art exhibits, Nature's Embrace, a solo exhibition by Jordan Grimes is in the gallery through June 20th. I've seen this exhibit. It will take your breath away what this man can do with wood and other materials and the sculptures he creates, particularly out of driftwood. I really, really encourage you to swing by and take a look at that. Also, graffiti street art will continue in the North Corridor. That's presented by the Visual Arts League. And then the Visual Arts League also has black and white landscapes that will start when the Jordan Grimes exhibit ends after June 20th, and that'll run, and I don't have a date, sorry. But that'll be in the MCL Grand Gallery. And you can always go to mclgrand.com and find out what's going on. That's all I have. Thank you.
Councilman. Councilman Vaughn?
Nothing, Mayor.
Okay. Councilor? Sheila? Officer, thank you for your service. Next item we have is a closed session in accordance with Texas Government Code Subchapter D, Item 1, Section 551.071, legal issues related to the construction of Old Town Park Plaza. That seems to be a regular item. Number 2, Section 551.071, pending litigation, City of Louisville versus City of Farmers Branch and Camelot Landfill. United States District Court for the Eastern District of Texas, Sherman Division, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality Modification to Municipal Solid Waste Permit number 1312A, and TCEQ application to obtain Municipal Solid Waste Permit Amendment Permit number 1312B. Item 3, Section 551.072, Real Estate Property Acquisition. And item 4, Section 551.087, Economic Development, Deliberation regarding economic development negotiations. We'll now go into closed session.
Down in,
But no, he sent us.
how many more?
I don't buy that.
Okay, we'll reconvene into open session. Councilman Daniels, is there any other action to take?
Adjourn?
Second?
We have a motion to adjourn and a second by Tierney. Councilman Tierney, excuse me. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 We're adjourned.